The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. George Orwell's 1984. Today, I'm going to be doing a deep dive into the topic of partisan bias. Partisan bias, just one of many forms of a cognitive bias. Cognitive biases are systematic errors in thinking that affect the decisions and judgments people make. I will be doing more videos on other types of cognitive biases in the future. American politics has become increasingly partisan, with a tendency to view the world through partisan lenses. Partisanship is commonly understood in two ways. First, it can refer to political party affiliation, such as Republican or Democrat. Second, it can describe adherence to specific policy positions on issues like the economy, immigration, and healthcare. Tackling these landscapes often leaves people vulnerable to the influence of partisan bias. This phenomenon, where political allegiance overrides objective reasoning, has profound implications for how we process information, form beliefs, and engage in civic discourse. At the core of partisan bias lies motivated reasoning. This cognitive process compels people to interpret information in a way that confirms their pre-existing beliefs, regardless of its objective validity. When partisan leanings are involved, this tendency becomes particularly pronounced. A person deeply invested in a particular political ideology will readily accept evidence that supports their viewpoint, while simultaneously dismissing or downplaying contradictory data. This selective acceptance of information creates an echo chamber where reinforcing narratives are amplified and opposing viewpoints are suppressed. Partisan news outlets and social media contribute to selective information processing. These platforms deliver content designed for specific political audiences, reinforcing their existing beliefs. This creates a feedback loop where people are further isolated in their ideological silos. Ultimately, this results in a fragmented information landscape, where objective truth is difficult to discern amidst partisan rhetoric. In the 1950s, Leon Festinger proposed cognitive dissonance theory. This theory describes the human drive to maintain consistency among beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. If people encounter information that contradicts their partisan beliefs, they may experience psychological discomfort. To alleviate this discomfort, they might deny or reinterpret the conflicting information. This cognitive bias helps preserve existing beliefs, thereby fueling our contemporary political polarization. Partisan bias also distorts how people perceive facts. When presented with strong evidence, people may use mental gymnastics to fit it with their political views. They might cherry-pick data, misinterpret statistics, or dismiss reliable sources. Rationalizing away inconvenient truths is a hallmark of partisan bias, demonstrating its power to override rational thought. Partisan bias also impacts counterfactual thinking. It influences which alternative historical outcomes people consider plausible based on their political affiliations. This decline in logical thinking has far-reaching effects. A democratic society depends on informed decision-making, which requires the ability to critically analyze information and participate in reasoned discussion. Partisan bias, however, undermines these crucial abilities by obscuring clear judgment. As a result, political discussions become mere shouting matches, with different sides talking without listening within their isolated ideologies. Consequently, the capacity to find shared understanding and achieve agreement, vital for effective government, diminishes. It's very unrealistic to expect people to be completely unbiased. However, the process of minimizing the effect of biases begins with a crucial step: self-awareness and acknowledgement. Developing critical thinking skills, actively seeking different viewpoints, and valuing objective evidence over partisan rhetoric are also vital for understanding complex information. Additionally, fostering intellectual humility, which involves recognizing the potential fallibility of one's own beliefs, can help to moderate partisan bias. So, in conclusion, partisan bias significantly hinders our ability to think logically and make more informed decisions. If we can understand this, we will be able to foster more thoughtful and nuanced political discussions. This will unite us against the divisions that undermine our democratic foundations.